very warm welcome to the brand new edition of Parliament This Week, your weekly roundup of all important developments in Parliament. I'm Kriti Mishra, and now let's begin the show. So the monsoon session of Parliament commenced on September 14th. On the first day of the 252nd session of Rajya Sabha, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu asserted that there was a substantial business agenda before the House and urged all the members to enable the smooth conduct of the proceedings. He said that the primary focus would be to ensure meaningful discussions on important legislations and the issues concerning the nation, including the COVID-19 pandemic. Take a look.
In his opening remarks of the 252nd session of Rajya Sabha, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu sought to remind members that people have a lot of expectations from them in respect to providing valuable guidance on management of the pandemic, revival of the economy, and return of normal social life. He lauded the remarkable services being rendered by frontline warriors, including doctors, nurses, police, paramilitary forces, sanitary workers, media personnel, and essential service providers. He also complimented farmers for having achieved record production despite lockdown restrictions. He expressed hope that the efforts of scientists for a vaccine would come to fruition in the near future.
These warriors have worked day in, day out with utmost dedication, courage and selflessness to ensure that the impact of the COVID-19 is minimal, for which they deserve our appreciation.
Stating that the department-related standing committees have started functioning after the ease of travel restrictions, Chairman Naidu said they examined various aspects of the pandemic and its impact during the intersession period. 7 such committees of Rajya Sabha have held 26 meetings since July this year and spent a total time of 56 hours and 40 minutes deliberating on various aspects of the pandemic, its impact and management.
The time spent by these 7 committees of Rajya Sabha accounts for about 90% of the total time spent on deliberating various issues during the intersession period. This goes to suggest that the Parliament has already been seized of various issues relating to the COVID-19 pandemic and its management and impacts the way forward.
As he completed 3 years in office as Chairman of the House last month, Chairman Naidu said he had directed the Secretariat to undertake detailed research on various aspects of the functioning of the Upper House since its inception. With the data available since 1978, he said the productivity of the House has been steadily declining over the last 25 years. However, there has been a silver lining. The overall productivity of the last 3 sessions of the House has been 94.6%, the best for 3 consecutive sessions in the last 5 years. The chairman also observed that the attendance of 8 department-related standing committees of Rajya Sabha has for the first time crossed 50%, clocking 50.73% during 2019-2020. It was 44.87% during 2017-2018. Observing that extraordinary times calls for extraordinary measures, the chairman expressed optimism that these testing times would be overcome with forbearance, discipline and determination. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Moving on now, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh apprised Parliament on the developments on our borders in Ladakh. He affirmed India's position and said Beijing has been conveyed unequivocally, both through diplomatic and military channels, that attempting to unilaterally alter the status quo was unacceptable to India. Defence Minister assured that India's armed forces are ready to deal with all contingencies in the high altitude area. Take a look.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh told the Rajya Sabha that massing troops by China and the violent conduct of its military violated all mutually agreed norms and pacts. He said it was made clear to the Chinese Defence Minister in Moscow recently that although India wants to resolve the row peacefully, there should be no doubt about its determination to protect its sovereignty and territorial integrity.
देश हित में हमें कितना ही बड़ा और कितना ही कड़ा कदम उठाना पड़े सभापति महोदय, हम पीछे नहीं हटेंगे। मैंने स्पष्ट तरीके से हमारी चिंताओं को चीनी पक्ष के सामने रखा है, जो उनकी बड़ी संख्या में ट्रूप्स की तैनाती, आक्रामक रवैया और एक तरफा स्टेटस को बदलने की कोशिश से संबंधित था। इन सब सारे मुद्दों को अपने काउंटर पार्ट के सामने हमने रखा है और मैंने 2 टूक शब्दों में यह स्पष्ट किया कि हम इस मुद्दे को शांतिपूर्ण ढंग से हल करना चाहते हैं और हम चाहते हैं कि चीनी पक्ष हमारे साथ मिलकर काम करे। वहीं हमने यह भी स्पष्ट कर दिया कि हम भारत की एकता, संप्रभुता और अखंडता की रक्षा के लिए पूरी तरह से प्रतिबद्ध हैं। यह भी हमने पूरी तरह से स्पष्ट कर दिया।
On the clashes in Galwan Valley, the defense minister said the Chinese side created a violent face-off and our brave soldiers laid down their lives and also inflicted costs, including casualties, on them. The defense minister also gave details about the 5-point agreement between External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi in Moscow on 10th of September. He assured that if this is implemented sincerely by the Chinese side, it could lead to complete disengagement and restoration of peace in the border areas.
हमने चाइनीज साइड के साथ डिप्लोमेटिक और मिलिट्री एंगेजमेंट बनाए रखा है। इन डिस्कशंस में 3 की प्रिंसिपल्स हमारी अप्रोच को सभापति महोदय तय करते हैं। पहला, दोनों पक्ष को एलएसी का सम्मान और कड़ाई से पालन करना चाहिए। फर्स्ट, सेकंड, किसी भी पक्ष को अपनी तरफ से यथास्थिति का यानी स्टेटस को का उल्लंघन करने का प्रयास नहीं करना चाहिए। थर्ड, दोनों पक्षों के बीच सभी समझौतों और अंडरस्टैंडिंग्स का पूर्णतया पालन करना चाहिए। चाइनीज साइड की यह पोजीशन है कि स्थिति को एक जिम्मेदार ढंग से हैंडल किया जाना चाहिए और द्विपक्षीय समझौतों एवं प्रोटोकॉल के अनुसार शांति एवं स्थिरता सुनिश्चित किया जाना चाहिए।
After the defense minister's remarks, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu asserted that the country must speak in one voice on the issue of national security and integrity.
मैं सभापति के नाते एक व्याख्या करना चाहता हूँ देशवासियों के लिए और पूरा विश्व के लिए भी। भारत का परंपरा, भारतीय संस्कृति हमेशा वसुधैक कुटुंबकम, सर्वे जना सुखिनो भवन्तु। हमारा पूरा इतिहास में हजारों साल में हमने कभी भी किसी देश के ऊपर हमला किया नहीं। एक ऐसा कोई उदाहरण भी नहीं है। ये हमारा परंपरा है। उसी परंपरा को हम आगे रख रहे हैं।
Thanking the members for expressing solidarity with the Jawans, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh assured them that the armed forces will continue patrolling as they have always done. He also stressed that operational sensitivities of the armed forces have to be respected. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan said that India has ramped up its COVID-19 testing facility from 1 lab in January this year to more than 1,000 labs today. And citizens anywhere can access a lab within a few hours of travel time. He was responding to the concerns raised by the members of the Upper House during the discussion on COVID-19 pandemic and the steps taken by Government of India.
Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan said that India's proactive and graded multi-level institutional response to COVID-19 made it possible to have low cases and deaths per million. He said the coronavirus-induced lockdown was utilized to quickly augment healthcare infrastructure in the country to fight the rising number of COVID-19 cases.
एक लेबोरेटरी, ये कहने के लिए, सुनने के लिए तो सिंपल सी बात है कि एक लेबोरेटरी थी और उससे आज 1700 से ज़्यादा हो गई। लेकिन लॉकडाउन के पीरियड के अंदर ये 1700 की 1700 लेबोरेटरीज को देश के अंदर सारी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स के सिस्टम्स के अंदर एस्टैब्लिश करने के लिए सब प्रकार की सुविधा, सब प्रकार के किट्स, सब प्रकार की मशीनें, इसको आईसीएमआर ने देश भर में उपलब्ध कराया। आज 3 किलोमीटर के दायरे के अंदर देश में कहीं पर भी चले जाएं और आप सोचिए जब लॉकडाउन का पीरियड था कोई हवाई जहाज नहीं चल रहे थे, कोई सामान को एक स्थान से दूसरे स्थान तक पहुंचाने की सुविधा नहीं थी, लेकिन उन परिस्थितियों के अंदर रीजनल डिपोज खोल के और जगह जगह किस प्रकार से किट्स को पहुंचाया।
Participating in the debate, members from various political parties made suggestions to the government and also sought clarifications.
Since we have a large and young population, government should be overcautious and should rigorously monitor the quality, safety and efficacy of the vaccine.
हम सबको वह दृश्य भी ध्यान होगा जब प्रधानमंत्री जी ने एक सामान्य नर्स से बात की थी तो उस नर्स का मनोभाव आप उस चित्र में देखते तो वह देखते बन रहा था, जो कहीं ना कहीं इस बात का प्रमाण था कि बड़े बड़े राष्ट्राध्यक्षों से लेके और एक सामान्य स्वास्थ्य कर्मी तक प्रधानमंत्री समान रूप से समन्वय की बात कर रहे थे।
I am appreciating what the central government is also taking efforts to do that. At the same time, state governments are very close to the public. And therefore, I request them, central government, give sufficient funds to implement the program. Then only it will be possible.
कि अभी केंद्र सरकार ने 1 सितंबर से पूरा मेडिकल इक्विपमेंट की मदद करना बंद कर दी है। उसमें पीपी किट, मास्क, वेंटिलेटर, उसके वजह से महाराष्ट्र सरकार को 3 से 50 करोड़ का ज़्यादा अब बोझ आने वाला है। तो पीएम केयर फंड जो आपने बनाया है उसमें हजारों करोड़ रुपए CSR फंड से जमा किए हैं, वो किसके लिए है? वो भी सभी राज्यों के लिए है, वो आपको देना पड़ेगा।
Was that while the health minister has spoken at length about the medical measures which have been taken to fight COVID-19, is there some guideline, a national guideline, which, giving the norms of federalism intact, can be followed so that the people really know and the administration knows what exactly it is to do?
The government apprised Parliament that the early lockdown measures are estimated to have prevented approximately 14 to 29 lakh cases and 37 to 78,000 deaths. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And now let's take a look at the bills passed by Parliament. So Parliament has passed the Farmers Produce, Trade and Commerce, Promotion and Facilitation Bill 2020 and the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill 2020. Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar urged all opposition parties not to politicize the two agriculture-related bills aimed at boosting the income of farmers and said that MSP will stay. Here's a detailed report.
The Rajya Sabha on Sunday passed the Farmers Produce, Trade and Commerce, Promotion and Facilitation Bill 2020 and the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement of Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill 2020. Moving the bill, Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar said the minimum support price or MSP based procurement of agricultural crops from farmers will continue.
जब लोकसभा में चर्चा हो रही थी तो इस प्रकार की शंका कुछ मित्रों ने व्यक्त की। उस समय भी मैंने कहा था और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने भी देश को आश्वस्त किया है कि न्यूनतम समर्थन मूल्य का इस विधेयक से कोई भी लेना देना नहीं है। न्यूनतम समर्थन मूल्य पर खरीद हो रही थी और आने वाले कल में भी खरीद होती रहेगी, इसमें किसी को शंका करने की आवश्यकता नहीं है।
Terming the bills historic, Tomar said they will bring a revolutionary change in farmers' lives.
लेकिन खेती के क्षेत्र में जब हम विचार करते हैं तो एकांगी विचार होगा तो कभी भी न तो किसान का भला होगा और न खेती मुनाफे में आएगी। किसानों की आमदनी दोगुनी हो उसके लिए सिर्फ ये ही बिल कारगर नहीं है। किसानों की आमदनी दोगुनी करने के लिए सिलसिलेवार बहुत सारे प्रयास 6 सालों में किए गए।
During the debate, while some members called it a big step towards empowering the farmers, parties including the Congress, CPI, TMC and DMK moved resolutions for sending the two bills to a select committee.
When I get a chance to intervene as to why we want this bill to go to a select committee. Select committee is not one handbrake. Select committee is to contribute. I want to leave the BJP. I'm going to move the select committee.
The minister says it's an historic bill. Why historic? It's a revolutionary bill. You have changed the very character of this country. The cultural country, a country whose culture is agriculture, is now being sold to corporate. So corporate, you have made the agriculture country into a corporate country. Now that is a revolutionary thing. You have not only brought the historic here. I would treat this bill as a direct, brutal assault on the state rights and the Constitution as such. And it not only is assault, it violates the very spirit of our Constitution and federalism.
Through this bill, the government is simply slow poisoning the mandi system, and that will ultimately lead to the killing of the mandi system of our country, which is being formed through various state acts, and it is an encroachment on the powers of the state, sir.
Earlier on 17th September, the bills were passed by voice vote in the Lok Sabha. The Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Bill 2020 permits the electronic trading of farmers' produce and allows setting up of transaction platforms for facilitating direct online buying and selling of farm products. The Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill 2020 provides for a farming agreement prior to the production or rearing of any farm produce. A guaranteed price to be paid for the purchase of farming produce will be mentioned in such agreements. Kriti Mishra and Navvikram Singh's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And Rajya Sabha also passed the Epidemic Diseases Amendment Bill 2020. It amends the Epidemic Diseases Act of 1897 to include protection for healthcare personnel combating epidemic diseases and expands the power of the central government to prevent the spread of such diseases. The bill replaces the Epidemic Diseases Amendment Ordinance that was promulgated on April 22, 2020.
Rajya Sabha passed the Epidemic Diseases Amendment Bill 2020 on Saturday. Replying to the debate on the bill in the upper house, Union Health Minister Harshvardhan said the bill aims to protect medical professionals.
जो चार्जेस चाहे वो लेबॉर्ट्रीज के हो, दूसरी चीज़ों के हो, उनको सबको रेशनल करने के लिए जो है रेशनलाइज करने के लिए स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स को भी सब प्रकार के सपोर्ट सिस्टम्स दिए हैं। कई स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स ने उसके बारे में पॉजिटिव काम भी किया है। कई लोगों ने आयुष्मान भारत और CGHS के रेट्स के साथ अपने रेट्स को सिंक्रोनाइज किया है। जो ड्रग्स की वैक्सीन्स, दूसरी जो PPEs और उन चीज़ों के जो ओवर चार्जिंग के बारे में, ब्लैक मार्केटिंग के बारे में किया गया है, तो समय समय पर ये बताया गया है कि किस प्रकार से ड्रग कंट्रोलर ने स्टेट के ड्रग कंट्रोलर्स के साथ मिलकर इस विषय पर कितनी सख्ती से एक्शंस लेने के लिए इंस्ट्रक्शंस किए हैं।
The bill amends the 125 years old Epidemic Diseases Act 1897 that protects health workers in the country. It further makes any crime against health professionals a cognizable and non-bailable offence. Offenders can also be fined anywhere between 50,000 rupees to 2 lakh rupees. They could also face a prison term ranging between 3 months to 5 years. If an act of violence against a healthcare service personnel causes grievous harm, the offender will be punishable with imprisonment between 6 months and 7 years and a fine between 1 lakh rupees and 5 lakh rupees. In the case of damage or loss of property, the compensation payable to the victim will be twice the amount of the fair market value of the damaged or lost property as determined by the court. Members cutting across party lines praised doctors and other healthcare workers combating COVID-19 outbreak from the front line.
अगर हम उन पर हमला करते हैं, अगर हम उन पर दुर्व्यवहार करते हैं, तो जो व्यक्ति अपने स्वास्थ्य की चिंता किए बिना आपके लिए लगातार खड़ा है, उसका मनोबल गिरता है, उसके परिवार का मनोबल गिरता है। ऐसे महामारी के समय में कोई व्यक्ति सामने आने का साहस नहीं कर पाएगा। सरकार ने उनके साहस, उनके मनोबल को बनाए रखने के लिए ही ये विषय रखे हैं।
Bengal has the Clinical Establishment Regulatory Commission headed by a High Court judge. 2017, it has capped private hospitals overcharging patients and all the tests. Why don't you consider this, sir? Health insurance. Your health insurance, like our health insurance in Bengal, is 10 lakhs of rupees. Only healthcare workers, ward boys, ward girls. Okay, good. What about the allied workers? In Bengal, the allied workers are also covered.
विशेष परिस्थितियां हों, असामान्य परिस्थितियां हों, तो गवर्नमेंट को किसी पर रिस्ट्रिक्शन लगाने का अधिकार होता है। ये नहीं कि वो केवल सरकारी लोगों पर ही लगा सकते। सरकारी हो या गैर सरकारी, कोई भी इस तरह के अस्पतालों में निश्चित करना चाहिए कि आप इससे ज्यादा चार्ज नहीं कर सकते।
Earlier in April, the government brought the Epidemic Diseases Amendment Ordinance to provide protection to healthcare personnel combating epidemic diseases and to expand the powers of the central government to prevent the spread of such diseases. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And Parliament has passed a bill to reduce 1 year salaries of parliamentarians by 30% to meet the exigencies arising out of COVID-19 pandemic.
Rajya Sabha on Friday passed the Salaries and Allowances of Ministers Amendment Bill 2020 and the Salary Allowances and Pension of Members of Parliament Amendment Bill 2020.
आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री ने सोचा है हम एक आदर्श दिखना चाहिए। इसी दृष्टि से पहले मंत्रिमंडल के सदस्य सभी लोग अपने जो अलाउंस होगा उसमें 30% कम करके सेविंग करना चाहिए। ये कितना पैसा है इसका महत्व नहीं है, ये प्रधान सेवक से लेके सभी मंत्री तक सभी लोग कुछ बचत करके लोगों को आदर्श दिखना चाहिए।
Members across party lines appreciated the prompt decisions taken by the government to tackle the situation arising due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
मेरा निवेदन सरकार से होगा कि पहले ये 2 साल के लिए तो करना नहीं चाहिए। हमने कैसे प्रिज्यूम कर दिया कि कोरोना 2 साल चलेगा? अगर करना भी था तो इसको 1 साल के लिए और आधा करते, 2.5 करोड़ रखते। अब ये आप सब सरकार और सभी बोलते हैं कि एमपीज को इन्वॉल्व होना चाहिए। सर खाली हाथ क्या करें?
मेरी पार्टी भी दोनों बिल को समर्थन देता है, लेकिन सर सवाल पैसा का नहीं है। ये चाहे सरकार जो बचत करेगा 55 करोड़ रुपया 60 करोड़ रुपया, सवाल ही हम एक मैसेज देशवासियों को दे रहे हैं। और सर और एक चीज है कि जैसे अभी माननीय सदस्य बता रहे थे, जो पहले का पैसे भी हमको एमपीलेट का नहीं मिल रहा है। केवल मेरे अकाउंट में 7 करोड़ रुपया में पिछले साल का भी तो मुझे नहीं मिला है, वो पैसा तो कम से कम दे दें।
I am asking about my previous MPLAT amount, sir. So many MPs are also not getting that previous MPLATs. That's why I humbly request the government to look into the matter and give the whatever the arrears for the old MPs, please consider as a very good manner and release the fund as early as possible, sir.
The bills reducing the salary of MPs was passed in Lok Sabha on Tuesday.
We should be role model to the others. That's why this decision is taken and you have all supported. And regarding MP fund, you have raised the issue. जो कुछ भी MPLAT का निर्णय लिया है, this is for temporary 2 years, that has been cleared.
These bills replace the ordinances that have been in force since April this year. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And now let's take a look at all the bills passed by the Upper House. So the Upper House passed the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Second Amendment Bill 2020 on Saturday. The bill seeks to temporarily suspend initiation of corporate insolvency resolution process under the code to provide relief to companies affected by COVID-19 to recover from the financial stress without facing immediate threat of being pushed to insolvency proceedings. It replaces the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Amendment Ordinance 2020 promulgated on June 5th, 2020.
The Upper House passed the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Second Amendment Bill 2020 by voice vote. Replying to the discussion, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said IBC had been successful in reducing India's stressed assets. She also apprised the members about the recoveries made through the insolvency process. The minister asserted that the bill doesn't provide any protection to unscrupulous elements.
Section 7 related, which is the financial creditor, 2,789 company cases had been resolved even before they got admitted into the NCLT. And this amount which got disposed in this resolution is 1,96,171 crores. Section 9 related, which is the operational creditor related cases, sir, even before admission, and I'm giving data of 31st July 2020. 11,581 cases have been disposed of even before admission, Section 9 cases, and in this the amount which got resolved is 1,63,927 crores. And finally, sir, Section 10, corporate debtors. 140 cases were disposed of before entering the NCLT. Again, data for 31st July 2020. 1,53,372 crores have been sorted out.
The Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Second Amendment Bill 2020 amends the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. It seeks to temporarily suspend initiation of Corporate Insolvency Resolution Process or CIRP under the code. The bill replaces the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Amendment Ordinance 2020 promulgated in June this year. It provides that for defaults arising during the 6 months from 25th of March of this year, CIRP can never be initiated by either the company or its creditors. The central government may extend this period to 1 year through notification. Insolvency is a situation where individuals or companies are unable to repay their outstanding debt. Kriti Mishra's report, Rajya Sabha TV.
So that's all I had for you in this edition of Parliament this week. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Rajya Sabha Television.